October 21st. We are here with Nicholas Aranello from the Assessing Department, the Commissioner, as of June. Want to welcome you and wish you the best in your new role. I am joined by several colleagues in order of their arrival. To my immediate left is Councilor Ed Flynn. To my far left is Councilor Matt O'Malley and Councilor Josh Zakum. I'd like to remind folks this is a public hearing being broadcast and recorded on Comcast Channel 8, RCN 82, Verizon 1964, and streamed at boston.gov/city-council-TV. Please silence any electronic devices. We always accept public testimony. There is a sign-in sheet to my left by the front door. We ask that you state your name, residence, any affiliation, and check the box yes if you wish to testify. You can also submit written testimony by email or snail mail. Email address is ccc.wm@boston.gov. Today's hearing is regarding docket 1275, message and order authorizing the city to adopt a property tax exemption from members of the National Guard and reservists who are serving in foreign countries. And with that, I'll hand it over to you, Commissioner.
Thank you, and good morning, Chairman. Good morning, other council members. My name is Nicholas Aranello. I'm the Commissioner of the Assessing Department, City of Boston. And I'm here today to testify on behalf of in support of the renewal of the National Guard exemption. It's a very solid program that we first enacted in fiscal year 2012, and it is a program that has to be reauthorized every 2 years, and it has been reauthorized ever since its original enactment and support from the city and the City Council. In that time, we've had 19 applicants that have been able to take advantage of the program, receiving almost $40,000 in abatements of their property taxes. The program allows members of the National Guard that are serving overseas and reservists to receive an exemption of up to 100% of their property taxes, and the city has chosen to grant that 100%. And as it needs to be reenacted every 2 years, that's what I'm here to support.
Pretty straightforward. You said the 19 applicants. Is that since the program's inception?
Yes, sir.
Exactly. Okay. How many more recently this past fiscal year? Do you have that number?
So this past fiscal year, we had one. I think that is probably due to the fact that, probably thankfully, we've had less of a need of members of our Massachusetts National Guard to serve overseas.
Right. Gotcha.
But I think it's an important program to keep in place in case that need increases.
Gotcha. Great. Councilor Flynn, our veteran on the council, by the way.
Thank you, Councilor Siamo, and thank you to Nick and your team for this program, and to Mayor Walsh, but also to Mayor Walsh and Commissioner Santiago and the previous Veterans Commissioner, Giselle Sterling. The City of Boston has had an excellent record in support of veterans and military families, especially on helping ensure our homeless veterans have housing, working with all of our veterans as part of Operation Thank-A-Vet, where volunteers go out and knock on doors of veterans and let them know about services that they're eligible for, and just an overall attitude at the City of Boston Veterans Department that they're important and they're treated fairly and treated with respect. So I want to say thank you to Commissioner Santiago and to Mayor Walsh as well. I think that's very important, and I'm glad we have great outreach on veterans issues. I know we spoke before the hearing, Nick, but I just wanted to ask publicly, this program is for National Guard and National Guard reservists, and I know that you're not able to make a change to include all reservists from other branches of the armed forces. But that's something I would support, is including more veterans in this program that serve overseas. But how would we try to make that happen, that reservists from other branches are eligible for this program? What would we need to do?
So currently, the program is established under state law, and so it would require a new exemption to be created, which is something that we could look into.
Okay, thank you. And Nick, what type of outreach did your office do to let National Guard and reservists know about the program? Or how do they find out about it?
So that's an excellent question. Currently, we have our Taxpayer Referral and Assistance Center to field any calls that come in about property taxes and questions in general. We send out notice every year with the third quarter tax bill, detailing the various exemption programs that are available, and that highlights the National Guard program as one of those exemption programs. We also have a lot of information available on our website, which is particularly helpful to members that are serving overseas, since they might not be getting the mail that's getting sent to their residence. And that has contact information, email contact information, and also phone contact information for the Taxpayer Referral and Assistance Center, so that they can get in touch with us if they have questions. And also, pursuant to federal law, exemption deadlines for members of the military that are serving overseas have extensions. Mm-hmm. So if someone comes back and realizes that they would have been eligible for an exemption, there's still the potential for them to apply and get that benefit.
And my final question, I know I spoke to Commissioner Santiago a while back, several times actually, about, as part of Operation Thank a Veteran, as I mentioned, we go out once a month to various neighborhoods and communicate with veterans that are living in a particular neighborhood. We also provide them a list of benefits that they've earned. I know that you were talking with Commissioner Santiago about including some information in there about this program. Are we also including some information in there about the property tax assistance for disabled veterans as well?
Yes, sir. And our department has a history of working with Veterans Affairs to do what we can to connect with veterans and let them know the benefits that are available to them.
Thank you, and I just want to say thank you to Nick, and I appreciate the communication and work you're doing with the City of Boston Veterans Services Department as well. So thank you for the good work of you and your team.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Councilor. Councilor O'Malley.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Obviously, you and I were here in 2011, I think, when this was first introduced, or 2012, and it's been an honor to support it biannually since then. This is a great thing. Wish more cities did this. And I apologize, I stepped out for a minute if you'd said this. How many National Guardsmen and reservists have taken advantage of this in the last several years? Do you know, Nick?
Yep, so since the program's inception, we've approved 19 applications.
That's great. Have we ever has anyone been denied?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay, great. And to my good colleague from District 2's point, we're doing a good job making sure that these families and servicemen and women know that this exists, particularly those. We're getting word out there so that more can take advantage.
That's our goal.
That's great.
To try and make everyone, not just the National Guard and veterans, but everyone, all of our constituents, to be aware of all of the programs that are available to them so that they take advantage, because that's why the programs exist.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, I appreciate this. Obviously, I think this will be the least controversial thing that we vote on all year, so thank you for your great work, and thank you for your leadership, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Councilor Zachin.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Nick. I just want to echo my colleagues' comments. I think this is great. Obviously, it sounds like you are, and your department is doing all the outreach, I think can reasonably be done. We always want to make sure, to both Councilor Flynn's point, Councilor O'Malley's point, something that I often find in this job is that folks who are having problems don't realize the array of benefits and services the city or the state can provide. I think that's one of our biggest roles, is that, we can't solve every problem, but in many cases, there is a subsidy, there's assistance, there's something like this that's available. So making sure people have that information is critical in our Taxpayer Assistance Center, and the work you're doing is important. So I just encourage that. I look forward to voting in support of extending this program once again. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, councilors. So as far as docket 1275, I'll be reporting it out favorably at our next scheduled meeting this Wednesday. Thanks again for your testimony, Nick, and the best of luck. This hearing's adjourned.